Welcome, everybody, to the Sam McKee Memorial broadcast that just gotten here. So happy to be joined by Wendy Ross from U.S. Trotting. Wendy, it's been a very, very busy week for you.
Yes, the crew and I, we were at the Meadows. Cheyenne Kurtzman and I hit the adios there on Saturday, and then we left. And Sunday we hit the road, and we started at the farms on Monday. And it's been, about 3 or 4 stops every day. And so thankful and grateful to everybody that really allots us their time and that access to come in and give the fans and people watching that behind the scenes. And it's, I hope everyone's enjoyed the coverage, but we certainly have. We've been really busy.
We'll talk about that more in a minute, but we used to know Harness Racing Fan Zone and U.S. Trotting. You guys have revamped it up, I guess you could say, to harnessracing.com to help the new fan kind of get involved from all aspects of the business. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So harnessracing.com was created, it was kind of like you said, to get to the viewership of the new fan, not people that are already in harness racing. Of course, there's ustrotting.com for that. This was for people that want to learn more about harness racing. So when you say you're out, you go somewhere and you're like, what do? You're like, I'm in harness racing. And they're like, well, what's that? And then you can say, oh, here's what it is. And you can go to harnessracing.com, and it's for people that are interested in ownership, getting into wagering, finding out where their nearest racetrack is. Hey, do you want to, there's a racetrack and it's called the Meadowlands, right? And doing things like that. And since we launched it on June 24th, we've had nearly over 10,000 visitors to the site. So I know the team is really proud of that. And it's been viewed in over 25 countries. So, that was kind of the mission. It just kind of keeps growing. And, it's just like I said. So if you want to know people, introduce them to harness racing, send them to harnessracing.com.
So it's a place where you can find out everything, a new owner, the wagering point of it, and kind of just find out what's going on?
Yeah, all the top races through the year. As far as if you want to know what the Hamiltonian is, harnessracing.com. If you want to see the top 5 earners, horses, drivers, performers, go to harnessracing.com. So yeah, it's kind of like just a way to get that inside behind the scenes thing for that new person wanting to get into harness racing.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely be pushing harnessracing.com towards all of our fans, new fans as well. So you did mention that you've been very busy going to all the farms, and so you were able to catch up with all 10 of the Hamiltonian contenders, plus some of the Hamiltonian Oaks contenders as well. We were just talking a little bit off air. You see them on the racetrack, but they are total different animals when they're in their natural habitat in the barn.
Yeah, they certainly are. And some of these colts and fillies are just really, really impressive when you see them up close. So if you want to get that behind the scenes, we try to give you that when we do our Hamiltonian contenders coverage. That's what we try to do, Jess. Just let people see them, right? Just get to see them with their trainers, with their connections, their caretakers, and just get to see how beautiful some of these colts are. Some of the most impressive to me, Private Access of Luke Blaze and Mars Hill for Tony Alania. Highland Kismet, I saw him. He was our last stop today, not because he was my last stop, but he still is a colt that's really lightly raced, and he's really something.
You said I'm not going to give out my pick yet, which is fine. But all the talk has been on Carl and TCI. Those two have led Road to the Hamiltonian since week 1, and we saw them meet up twice last year. TCI coming ahead in Lexington, Carl coming ahead at Hoosier Park in the Breeders' Crown. But there's 8 other very solid horses in that race.
And I think that's the one story that we don't want to forget about, right? But the Carl and TCI thing, I feel like all of the connections, everybody hopes to have a once-in-a-lifetime type of horse. And then, as Ronnie said, and then Nancy said, she's like, I feel like every time I have one, someone else does too as well. But, I love these 2 favorites. I love the rivalry, the way it's set up. You love to see these colts come back from 2 to 3, which is so great that they did. But, yeah, there's 8 other colts in there, and it could shake up to be one of those type of races that if you're looking for a little different play, there's a couple different options.
There is. Everything has to go right on Hambo Day in the Hamiltonian. You never know what's going to happen. We saw that with a couple of years ago with Cool Papa Bell, and then we saw it last year with Tactical Approach. So you never know what's going to happen. And the Hamiltonian Oaks field is very competitive as well. And very rarely do you see a horse riding a 10-race win streak.
Well, I haven't been kind of paying attention, but I said to Jess, I was like, who are you going to go? I am a huge buy around. I really loved her through last year, and then seeing, I know we can see more out of her. And after stopping at talking with Noel, I think we're going to see more out of her tomorrow. But Alyssa Hanover, what can you not say, right? And then she draws the rail. She certainly is the one to beat.
And she's beautiful red chestnut filly. I feel like Hollywood Hayden gave us a few quotes on, the chestnuts aren't usually as prominent or known for in the sport. All right, we're going to send it up to Ken Workington for the post parade of race number 4, and then we'll be back with more with Wendy Ross. back with more with Wendy Ross, just gotten with you. We've talked a little bit about the Hamiltonian Oaks, Wendy, with harnessracing.com, which is where they can find all your content, right, throughout the week?
Well, yeah, it's all on our U.S. Trotting platforms. Of course, it's on ustrotting.com on the homepage. It's go to our YouTube, U.S. Trotting, and then, of course, Twitter, Facebook. It's all there, yeah. So we did cover all of the 10 colts, and there's some fillies mixed in there, the ones we could get to. So, yeah,
Awesome.
Make sure you check it out.
Awesome. And before I ask you about these two, you guys are having a pregame show tomorrow, right?
Yes. So, yeah, with all the coverage we do every year, we kind of said, hey, what can we, every year we try to do something cool, something fun, and we just had the idea, hey, let's do a pregame show. And it, obviously this is my 10th, 11th year on the Jug broadcast. So I said, hey, let's bring the Little Brown Jug broadcast vibe and just bring it in for an hour kind of pre-show, bring people in, and we have some guests. I think you may be one of them. And Ashley Mayhew. I've never worked with Ashley, but I know you have.
Yep.
She'll be here for FanDuel and TVG. So I asked her, and she was really excited, and that meant a lot. And so Ashley Mayhew will be joining us for an hour from 11 to 12 tomorrow, and you can get that on our link on US Trotting for the Vimeo link.
And they will be over in the backyard by the harnessracing.com tent, where they can have autographs from 10 to 12.
Yes.
So you can all at once.
Yeah, you can do the autographs, check out the show, give us a high five. Yeah, so we're really excited about that.
All right, in a couple of weeks, after the Hamiltonian Day here at the Big M, there's so much going on in harness racing in general. You got a couple of Grand Circuit events at Hoosier Park, Northfield Park, the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono, or however they say it, I think it's backwards now. But you're going to the VDM. Tell us what that's about.
We are we got sponsored by the Sweet Loose Syndicate. Myself, Rich Johnson, our camera guy, and Mark Hall, our Hall of Fame Hoofbeats photographer. We're going over to cover the Vincent Delaney Memorial. It takes place next weekend, so we actually land and then fly right out. Next week. So yeah, the races are held next 10th and 11th over there. And actually, hats off to Derek and his family and Heather Wilder, who has orchestrated this whole tour of 38 or to 40 people. I don't want to give out the wrong number, that are all going over there to do tours of the stud farms and everything like that. And then we'll of course be covering that and then covering the races next weekend as well. So head over to the Vincent Delaney Memorial Facebook page for all the information. And then this week we're going to promote it and pump it a little bit too. So yeah, from New Jersey to Ireland we go.
There you go. And I saw Casey Coleman, Roger Houston, Jasmine Arnold as well, just to name a few people there. And they just simply love horses and harness racing.
Yes, they do, and it's really something, the way that they started just breeding horses kind of in their backyard, and the way that the Ireland program has really progressed, and now tying into these U.S. stallions and really breeding, and some of those horses have come over and have been very successful. So it's really a cool story, and I'm proud to go, and I'm happy that they're bringing us over there.
I can't wait to catch up on all the coverage. All right, one final thing before I let you go. Last year you guys had your first edition of the Outriders Clinic, and that's back again this year.
We are. We had 7 girls last year, and 5 of them have literally been working at tracks and have been seen as backups or have actually had some full-time positions. We're really proud of the way the clinic turned out last year. Now, we want to be clear. It is a 3-day clinic, and it's a mentor. It's set up to be a mentor program, right? It's classroom, and then it's a lot of heavy riding those 2.5 days, and then it's just a mentor program. We kind of set the base and then hopefully lead them into the world of meeting up with one of the pro outriders, and it's been really successful last year. And we said we know there's a need for them, and we know there's a need for good ones. So it's a way to start them with a good base, and then hopefully get them in contact with one of the pros, and hopefully 5, 10, a couple years, because it takes a lot of time to make a really great outrider, and they got to have a great horse. And hopefully sets them up for success for years down the road, and to hopefully keep everybody safe, because it's what we really want.
Yes,
Your attention, please. The 2 Gillies de Vie was in the paddock, is still in the paddock here. It's a shoe repair. Is actually going to be racing without hind shoes. No hind shoes for number 2 Gillies de Vie in this 4th race.
Thank you, Ken Workington, for that update. And just to end out things here, Wendy, you going back to the Outriders, we see them each and every night at the racetrack. They are truly out there to keep everybody safe. They're almost like unsung heroes in this business. As a daughter of a driver growing up, could not be more thankful, and I think it is so important and so great that you guys are doing this.
Thank you so much. You know, it's just one of the many things that we try to do, and yeah, that's what it's about, the betterment, providing jobs, and everybody that we can help in throughout harness racing. But it's funny, we had the shoe repair. I said, heck, they might just let us keep going all night, right? But no, there really was a shoe repair. And two things I thought pulling in here. I said, thank goodness it rained tonight, and we got a beautiful rainbow out of it.
Oh,
so I said, if the weather delay,
it.
I hope that's good. It sets us up for sunshine tomorrow.
I hope so. There's maybe a slight chance of rain tomorrow, but hopefully that just
I know.
on out. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And tomorrow they can find your show at what time?
We start at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be there, and I think you'll be on sometime 11:30, 11:35.
Right.
So we'll have picks. But thank you, Jess, for always having me back. It's always nice to get back to the Meadowlands. It always seems like home.
It does. It's been a busy week, and it is coming to an end here pretty soon. But thank you so much, Wendy. As always, remember to check out harnessracing.com and ustrotting.com on all social media platforms. Up next will be race number 4.